Welcome to episode 4 of What Happens Next. This is a shorter one than the interview we did last week with Nick Elpston. If you're looking for a long form What Happens Next interview, I definitely recommend you try the interview with Nick because the insights he shares in episode 3 of this podcast are fantastic. But today, I want to talk about the one thing I challenge myself with every morning and why, if you did it, you might improve your what happens next. Part of the issue we've got when we're thinking about what happens next in our lives is having the self awareness, having the introspection to be able to think about what the gaps in our well being are. And we're doing loads of work at the minute with what happens next to build solutions that are going to help you think about well-being in a nuanced way when you're thinking about how it applies to your life. One of the first things we've built that you can use today is our What Happens Next quiz. It's free to do, takes about 5 minutes, but what it will do is give you an insight into the areas of strengths when it comes to your well-being and the areas you might want to improve. You can take the What Happens Next quiz at whathappensnext.life/quiz. And I hope it helps you in your journey to work out what happens next for you. Welcome to the What Happens Next channel, the channel designed to explore some of the factors that we might want to consider when we're going through transition in our lives. Now, I know that actually going through that change and thinking about what's next in your life, if you're in your 50s and 60s, have been working in a career or running a business for a long period of time and thinking that you can't do this forever, but you just don't know what's next, is a challenging one. And this is why this channel is for you. Because what we want to do is explore the concepts that you're thinking about and you're considering when you're thinking about making change. Maybe you're not ready for retirement. Maybe retirement isn't something you want to do, but you know that you want to and need to make a change in a certain direction, and you want some help, support, guidance, ideas, and great conversations around that. And this is why this channel is perfect for you. Who am I to talk about this sort of stuff? Well, my name's Chris Dames. I'm a chartered financial planner. I've got a little way to go to my own What Happens Next moment, but I'm very fortunate that I get to have conversations with people like you who are considering making this change. Now, typically, they come to talk to me about the money. They come to talk to me about whether we can work out how much is enough for them to live the lives they want without ever worrying about money again. But often the conversations zoom out and we start talking about some of the other factors that they've been considering when they're thinking about their lives. And I think one thing that I've noticed, particularly in the conversations I've had, especially since the pandemic, I think often the pandemic changed our perception on what our lives mean, but certainly since then, is one of the things that helps us is getting really clear on what our North Star is, what our purpose is, why we get up in the morning. And I have read some research for the book that I'm writing at the minute, the What Happens Next book I'm writing at the minute, saying that only 30% of people between 50 and 92 had a clear purpose in their lives. Now, you sort of see why people below 50 might have purpose baked into their lives. They're bringing up kids, they're buying their home, they've got meaning through their family setups. But as the kids grow up and do their own thing, suddenly you think, well, actually, what is the reason I get up in the morning? What is my North Star? And I've been really lucky on this channel to have some great conversations with people. And one in particular is a guy called George Kinder. You can find the full interview on the YouTube channel. I definitely recommend that you watch the entire episode available free on the YouTube channel. While you're there, I'd love for you to like and subscribe to the channel. You can do that on the buttons where they normally are. So it really helps us continue to invite good people, share insights, and help you make those decisions. So at the minute, I'm spending a lot of time writing the What Happens Next book. I'm 50,000 words in as I speak to you today, and currently working to make sure that the book adds as much value as we can to people thinking about that next stage in their lives. Now, the book's not ready yet. It won't be out until sometime in 2025. I'm working hard to get it finished. But what you can do is sign up for the book waiting list. So you're one of the first people that gets access. You can simply do that by visiting whathappensnext.life/book. Join the waiting list today, and you'll be one of the first person to get access to the book and some extra goodies when it comes out. But George Kinder's famous in my world, in the financial planning world, for 3 questions. And the 3 questions he asks are quite hard hitting, but actually a really useful insight into thinking about what's next. So George asks, number 1, if you were in a position where you had never to worry about money again, what would you do with your time? And now that question takes money off the table and hopefully gets closer to what that true purpose of your life is. Question 2, you go to the doctors and the doctor says, you've got 3 years left, but then we know you're going to die. You've got a 3-year life expectancy. The good news is you're going to be super healthy and able throughout those 3 years. How would you spend that time? Question number 3 is you go back to the doctor and he says, well, actually, I got that wrong. You've only got a day. What would you regret not doing? Now, those 3 questions, as I say, are really hard hitting, but really insightful to think about what your life means, what you want your life to mean, and how you take action now to make sure that you're getting up every morning. And I'm not saying jump out of bed, but I'm saying getting up with that sense of purpose so that you can make sure that you're living your life in the best possible way. Interestingly, I've started something recently that's really been working for me. I've started journaling. And the reason being is, this is going to sound really weird, but I find that when I type stuff into a Word document, I won't keep it there unless I really truly believe it. So if you're having trouble answering those questions and they're really easy to answer immediately, but not actually get to the bottom of what you actually believe, start a journal. Start thinking about those questions every day until you get closer and closer to what that answer might be. My North Star question, the question that I ask myself every day now, because I think that's my North Star, and it's part of the reason we do these videos, is what positive impact are you going to make in the world today? Now, your North Star question is going to be different, and there's no right or wrong answer. It could be about family, it could be about friends, it could be about fun, it could be about positive impact. But asking yourself that question every single day that's aligned to the thing that you want your life to be about is going to be really important. Hopefully that's useful. I really hope you enjoyed that. And I know that podcasts are brilliant because when you're on the go, you can listen wherever you want. However, if you've got a few minutes, and like me, you're a bit more of a visual learner, you might want to visit our YouTube channel at What Happens Next Live. There'll be a link in the comments as well so that you can find us. And what I really appreciate you doing, we've got all the interviews on there, all the interviews you're listening to right there on there. But what we've also done is recorded exclusive content specifically for the YouTube channel that you can watch and get more insights into the next stage of your life and navigating it successfully. I'd ask a favour while you're there, if you can, like the videos you like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us help more people. Thank you. So that's the one thing I challenge myself with every morning. I'd love to know what you challenge yourself with every morning. Feel free, wherever you're listening to this, to put your comments below. We'd love to hear from you.